Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to do a deep dive on the Sovryn protocol, which is bringing DeFi to Bitcoin. And think about it. Just in these last 12 to 18 months, we've seen DeFi explode on Ethereum. On multiple chains, this is happening. Well, what about Bitcoin? In today's video, we have partnered with Sovryn to explain just this. I want to share with you what Sovryn is, why DeFi on Bitcoin, why Bitcoin, as well as current growth of the network, what's the use case of the SOV token, and much more. Like always, check the timestamps down below in the video description. And let's jump in. First and foremost, what is Sovryn? Your keys, your control, the decentralized Bitcoin trading and lending platform. So it's DeFi on Bitcoin that is not KYC'd, you do not give up your keys, and much like the DeFi we're seeing built on other chains, Sovryn offers this and more. You have access to decentralized margin trading and decentralized swaps, decentralized borrowing and lending, and of course, decentralized liquidity. And I want to show you this personally. We are going to go right to the dApp where you can access these features. I'll take you through a little walkthrough, but let's keep going. Let's check out the black paper to further define Sovryn. Sovryn is an on-chain decentralized protocol deployed on a Bitcoin sidechain. The Sovryn protocol is controlled by its community and stakeholders. There is no single company, organization, or individual that represents or controls the Sovryn protocol. But Sovryn is controlled by the community, the people, the stakeholders of the SOV token. And we'll talk about the token at the end of this video, but first, let's just talk about why Bitcoin. I mean, wasn't DeFi on Ethereum or DeFi on Polkadot? Wasn't that working fine? Why DeFi on Bitcoin? Well, we know Bitcoin, the OG crypto, created a corruption-resistant, permissionless monetary system. We know this. Bitcoin is the most decentralized, it is the most censorship resistant out of all the cryptos. And the narrative in the early days was, well, it's great and everything, but you can't build on it. While Bitcoin allows you to be your own bank, we need these other protocols, these other dApp platforms for banking type services, like lending and borrowing. The Sovryn protocol, along with sidechains, changed that. Sovryn is a non-custodial, permissionless, smart contract-based system for Bitcoin lending, borrowing, and margin trading. The Bitcoin sidechain, RSK, Rootstock, built DAO, is what allows Bitcoin to have these superpowers. It's what allows Sovryn to be the most feature-rich DeFi platform for Bitcoin. Okay, Austin, I get it. I understand now what Sovryn is. But the next question is obviously, are people using it? Well, checking in on the stats from a few days ago, we are seeing steady, healthy growth. The Sovryn TVL, total value locked growth, is accelerating, now solidly above 115 million. The second derivative, the rate of growth, is growing too. Steady, organic growth, hitting an inflection point, the network is growing. You also may have seen this huge piece of news as reported by our channel a few days ago. El Salvador state-owned bank, Banco Hipotecario, taps 4 crypto startups for blockchain products. And Sovryn is one of those 4 being adopted by El Salvador state banks for decentralized lending and borrowing products, as well as potentially Bitcoin-backed stablecoins. And why does this matter? What does this mean to you as a crypto investor? Well, we know that El Salvador recently adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in their country because they want their money as decentralized, as censorship resistant as possible. And it seems they want their banking type products as decentralized as possible as well, built on Bitcoin. All right, what do you think so far? Give me your honest thoughts about Sovryn down below in the comment section. Also, which feature are you most excited for? Would you use their spot exchange? Or maybe borrow against your Bitcoin or crypto as a way to take profits? They do have their own launchpad as well, which we will talk about in a second. But real quick, I do want to make a recommendation to you. For those of you that haven't, be sure to check out our interview with Eden Yago, early contributor of Sovryn, as he explains why Sovryn and why DeFi on Bitcoin is one of the most exciting opportunities of the decade. Link down below, check it out. But let's keep moving back to the black paper. What are the details of the Sovryn protocol? I'm talking privacy. I'm talking Ethereum compatibility. Let's talk about it. The Sovryn protocol provides the infrastructure for a Bitcoin native DeFi layer that is strongly integrated with Ethereum and other crypto assets and other chains. EVM compatible smart contracts. Soon the protocol will add the ability for anybody to build Ethereum virtual machine compatible smart contracts that are secured by Bitcoin's proof of work. This will ensure that the vibrant Ethereum development community has a bridge to Bitcoin's layer 2 financial infrastructure. I like it. Interoperability is key. It is key, and this provides the security of the Bitcoin blockchain with full interoperability with Ethereum. What about privacy? What about the lack of KYC? Well, they have both. Users will be able to easily transmit the value of their Bitcoin for everyday payments through Bitcoin-backed stablecoins without having to sell their Bitcoin or submit to KYC. So, no middleman for fast, cheap payments, and for privacy, Sovryn will enhance Bitcoin privacy with ZK-proof shielded transactions. This technology employs a type of cryptography that allows information to be verified without revealing any data about the two parties in a transaction. And for me personally, this is another reason I'm excited about Sovryn. And maybe you're saying, Austin, I love this too. This all sounds great, but what are the negatives? What are the potential challenges that lay ahead for Sovryn? And keep in mind, we're not going to get to every single piece of information today. It's just about the value prop. It's just about the broad strokes. We do get way more specific in this interview, and we do ask Yago, what are the challenges? And he lays it out pretty specifically. So like I said, link down below. And next up, I do want to do a walkthrough of the dApp. We'll save that to the end. But next up, let's talk about the token. SOV Token, uses and economics. SOV is used to tokenize the rights, rewards, and risks associated with participating in Sovryn. So basically a governance token. Another way to say this is the platform's native token, SOV, is used for decisions about the project's future and governance process. It can also prevent centralized parties from ever controlling the platform, as SOV, the token, coordinates the entire Sovryn ecosystem for those who hold, for those who stake, or those that make the decisions. And this is an interesting distinction they make about SOV. SOV is not an altcoin. Indeed, it's not a coin at all. The Sovryn community does not believe we need thousands of coins or currencies or reserve assets. Now, to me, this was slightly confusing because Sovryn is clearly listed on CoinGecko. It looks just like any other coin to me, but the distinction is in the use case. SOV is not a currency. SOV is not designed to be a digital reserve asset or compete with Bitcoin in any way, and thus it is not required for transaction fees on the Sovryn protocol. SOV isn't even required to use the Sovryn protocol. A user could use Sovryn their entire life without ever having to know about SOV. And that's interesting. And I guess in that sense, it is not an altcoin. The token is used to represent voting power and to wrap the rewards and risk of Sovryn's future into a digital representation. That's what keeps the community in control instead of a centralized figure. And finally, let's have a look at the dApp. As you can see, we are live.sovryn.app, and this is where you go for your decentralized Bitcoin trading and Bitcoin lending platform. So looking at some of our options, we can buy swap, spot, margin. Let's just check out swap. As you can see, very similar layout to Uniswap. They do essentially the same thing, only this, of course, on Bitcoin. We can keep going and check out the margin trading. As you can see, pretty simple. Definitely more functionality than Uniswap or PancakeSwap, etc. Pretty basic, but pretty simple to use. Heading over to finance, we can either lend, borrow, or yield farm. Lend, here it is. Here are your options. Loading up, your wallet must be connected. You can engage your wallet in the upper right-hand corner. And two more things to point out. Number one, we can check out Bitocracy. This is where you would stake. This is where you would see the governance or check out the forum for the community. And also Origin, their launchpad, if you wanted to take advantage. Pretty self-explanatory, but this is the app. I will link it. This is the dApp. I will link this down below. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. Seriously, if you use Sovryn, let the community know. I would love to know your experience with Sovryn. But that is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, make sure you watch this interview. Truly valuable information. And I will see you tomorrow.